The other form for the equation of a line is what we call the slope-intercept form. And this is, let's see, the slope-intercept form of an equation of the line with slope m and y-intercept. So when we say intercept, what do we mean? We mean the y-intercept. 0b is given by y equal mx plus b. So this, of course, straightforward, is easy. You can, if you're given a slope and a y-intercept, you can immediately write it. So most of the time, that's not what we will be asking from you to do, because that's too straightforward. So most of the time, from the equation, we need to know what is the slope and the y-intercept of the line. So let's look at example 5. Find the slope and the y-intercept of this line. So how do we do it? Well, we need to solve for y. And once you solve for y, so for this one that's done for you, we solve for y, then the coefficient of x is your slope. A common mistake is people putting the x next to it. The slope is just a number, there's no x with it. And the y-intercept is the 3. So let's work this one out. Okay, and I didn't graph it, so we'll come and graph. No, let's not come and graph. Let's do it now. Then we say then graph. So we start with the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, 3. Then we know the slope, again, is negative. So you can either go down by 3 and right by 4, or you go up 3 and left 4. And either way, hopefully you have 2 points. This is, again, this way we know that definitely we have the right answer, because any 2 points makes a line. Let's work on B. Let's solve for y. So let us subtract the 4x from both sides. Then to solve for y, we need to divide by 5 minus 10 over 5. And what is 10 over 5? Negative 4 over 5x minus 2. Remember the question, you need to find the slope and the y-intercept. So the slope is what? Negative 4/5, and the y-intercept is negative 2. You can write it as either only negative 2 or as a point. That, it's up to you. Now, okay, let us now graph it. So the y-intercept is 0, negative 2. And the slope is again negative. So let's start with going down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the right by 5. I like to do both. Or you go up by 4 and left by 5. And again, we will see that these 3 points are on the same line. Okay, let's look at the next example. Write an equation of the line through the points, and you're given 2 points, negative 2, 4 and 2, 2. Then graph the line using the slope-intercept form. So for the slope-intercept form, again, we need the slope, which we are not given. So let's find the slope. M is equal to y2. I'm going to also call this the second one. 2 minus y1, which is 4, over x2 minus a minus 2. So that makes it positive 2. So now we have a negative 2 over 4. You have to simplify, which is a negative 1 over 2. That's my slope. Now, I don't know what is the y-intercept. So let's write the equation using the point slope. Which point I'm going to use, it doesn't matter. So y minus 4 equal negative 1/2. I'm using the first one. X minus a minus, so plus 2. So now we don't want the standard form. So let's not multiply by 2. No, just simplify, multiply across. Negative 1/2 times positive 2 is just negative 1. Solve for y equal to negative 1/2 x. Now I have negative 1 and positive 4. So 4 minus 1, which is 3. Here's the slope-intercept form. Then it says use it to graph. So we're going to start with the y-intercept, which is 3. And the slope is negative 1 over 2. So we can go down by 1, right by 2, or up by 1 and left by 2. Okay. And now we have the following line. All right, let's go to the next example, example 7. Okay, it says use the graph to write the equation of the line in standard form, and I did not yet did not graph the line for you, and here it is. So how can I write the equation of this line? Well, at least try to find 2 points if you can. Or in a situation like this, I made the y-intercept obvious, so I know that b is 6. And can you tell the slope by looking at it? Again, I need 2 points. But if we have the x and y-intercept, then life is simple. Why? Because take any point, let's start from this point, right? And you'll see that to get to another point, we went to the right 3 units and up 6 units. So that means the change in y is 6 and the change in x is 3. So m is 2. So now we need to write the equation in the slope-intercept form. So that's an easy one. So what is y equal to? Remember, mx plus b. So m 2x plus b, which is 6.